We happy? Vincent? We happy?
Yeah, we happy.
Forgive me if the answer to the title seems a little obvious. For the past week, if not the past 2 weeks, it's most definitely been at least alt season. Even top market cap coins are posting at least 20% gains on average. But if you've been paying attention to the type of content that I like to make, you'll know that I'll put a random cat video in. And I wouldn't be posing the question if I didn't think there was an interesting discussion to be had about it, at least in my opinion. So, are we in a bull market? First things first, January, at least so far, been pretty great. Do you know how rare it is that we have a great month in Bitcoin? Let's have a look. Monthly candles for Bitcoin right here. Now, considering that this month was barely green in a continuation of a downward pattern, it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nearly 7 months since we last had a candle that crushed it like this one. Bull market confirmed? Let's keep going. Let's look at some moving averages. Which ones? All of them. This comes from Murad on Twitter. Bears are deluded at best, dishonest at worst. What we're looking at here is a lot of lines. I know most traders wouldn't have set up like this, but it's just trying to get the point across. We have every sort of daily and weekly MA and EMA displayed here. Bitcoin is now above most of them. The next target being the daily moving average of 200 days, which actually, as of right now, is much closer than that old picture suggests. Bitcoin now basically caressing that line. Arrest those bears.
Stop! You violated the law. Pay the court a fine or serve your sentence.
Interestingly, it does just so happen to be the exact same location as a more commonly used moving average to determine bull or bear market cycles, the 255-day moving average. The fact that we're touching it basically means a lot or absolutely nothing. The point being that Bitcoin decides to trade through it didn't really mean too much. If this becomes a point of resistance, then yeah, it was kind of important. Either we stay up and over it like we did here for so long, or it becomes resistance once more. Personally, I have a bit of a bullish bias, I will admit. Despite facing strong resistance, Bitcoin has not pulled back. Bitcoin is still right there up at it. If it keeps pounding on the door without going away, eventually you'd expect it to break through. One of the simplest yet most powerful tools that we have widely available, yet also one of the most misunderstood. Let's look at the RSI next. Simply, top of this line any higher, considered overbought, any lower than this line, considered oversold. However, if you are in a bull market, being in overbought territory is not a bad thing. In fact, it demonstrates the strength of the asset. Examples as you see here, here, and here. All of which had Bitcoin rocketing even though it had hit these very, very high overbought levels. Again, much like the moving average, Bitcoin is at a critical level where it's at the moment. You may start to see why I think this is an interesting discussion now. Let's have a look at BitMEX funding. Just going to put a horizontal line there to showcase exactly what kind of level we're at the moment. So we are definitely favoring shorting Bitcoin right now, or at least it's costing more and more to open a long position on BitMEX because of the amount of people wanting to do so. The majority are wanting to do so. Generally speaking, the premium right now for longing Bitcoin is moderate to high. The higher it gets, the likelier chance Bitcoin has. Is likelier a word? I think so. The more likely it is, the higher it is, the more likely Bitcoin falls. The lower it is, the more likelihood Bitcoin has to go up. So this being so high, a clear bearish indicator? Maybe, but it's not as bad as you think. I've always said that the majority of people get things wrong. We have some interesting data about that from BitMEX themselves. This is provided by @SuperCrypto on Twitter. In 2018, the amount of liquidations that people suffered from a long position was way, way higher than the amount of people getting liquidated from their short positions. Kind of clearly, right? 2018 was a bear market, so. But in 2019, still way, way more people getting liquidated opening longs than shorts. Clearly, everyone has, or majority of people have a bullish bias. And I completely get that. For many people, Bitcoin is like a shining light for a cruel and dark world. And its taking over of the world is inevitable. But it's clearly costing people a lot of money to take that mindset into trading. So it's not that surprising to see that the premium's high now. Not at all. Be aware of your own bias, if any, when trading to avoid some of these painful moments. Let's look away from the charts for a moment. Institutions are showing interest in Bitcoin lately. Grayscale Investments, a big, large firm offering you a Bitcoin ETF product, but not quite. In a comprehensive 18-page report, the firm touted a record Q4 in 2019. It raised $225 million into its investment products, lifting the year's inflow to $607 million after back-to-back quarterlies of over $225 million, possibly signaling a larger market trend. 71% of the year's inflow sprung from institutional investors. Managing Director Michael Sonnhuisen said, "We saw record-breaking investment into Grayscale's family of products, illustrating continued demand from investors for digital currency access products, and with a majority of investment coming from institutions, it's clear that we're experiencing institutional adoption." Oh, it's like a dirty word. Institutional adoption. Oh, baby. That sounds great. It really does. But we just want to see those wallets, Grayscale. Show me the money! The temptation to never actually hold any Bitcoin when all of your clients can only buy and sell the paper derivative form of Bitcoin must be very, very high. However, it is advertised as though they do hold Bitcoin, so an investment firm as large as Grayscale, you'd probably be on the more conspiracy theorist side to say that they're defrauding customers, but maybe? I hope not. So, in summation, some pretty good news, some little bit news. I have a bullish bias, but as far as an answer to the question of today's video, it has not been answered definitively. That is the point. It is still a question mark, despite what people may say. We're close to getting an answer, though. Very, very, very close. Maybe not the definitive answer you would have expected reading the title of this video, but that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching. A like is appreciated, and I'll see you in the next one. Kit. Okay. Bull market. Oh, sorry. Going down. Bull. No. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh no. Bear market. Bull market. Bull market's back. We're, oh, never mind. Bear market. This is a bear market. Bull market. So, ultimately,